So we are in Perth for day 2, or I guess weekend 2 of seminars. This is the hotel view. It's pretty fucking insane. But second set of seminars is Friday, Saturday. We're going to, I think Saturday, Sunday. We have workshops all day. This last weekend we worked about 14 hours, both days, not over the course of those days. So it was non-stop, hardly even had a chance to work on client work, but got it done. So I just wanted to make a little video. It'll be short, quick. Hopefully I can get some footage from the seminars. I'll throw that into this video, but I thought taking you guys along with like how I do this stuff, travel, still keep up with other work, and present at these seminars. So beautiful view. Can't be mad waking up to this, guys. It's pretty cool. Very fortunate, grateful, and I hope you guys like this video. Alright everybody, just gonna kind of do this off the top of my head, but this is training session number 1 that we did when me and Mike and Crystal got into town in Perth. I'm gonna record every session basically for those 4 days that I was there or so. If you'd like to see the cards and things of that nature, I put these sessions on my social media as well. You can head over to my Instagram, check those out. So I really just kind of want to touch on how the travel stuff went and how I do stuff when I am traveling for these seminars, because obviously I'm pushing to the open, and most people kind of ask me tons of questions like, how have you competed successfully as a pro and gotten a pro card and this and that, and been able to travel and do seminars and things of that nature. So first and foremost, we're always getting our training in. Clearly we're training hard. This is a modified leg session because we had already flown to Melbourne. Fuck, that took forever. Then we did 2 seminars back-to-back days where we were 12-hour work days in like a sauna basically because the gym was so hot we sweat all day. So fluid balance is all kinds of weird. So we did mile rep match, seated hamstring curls, great intensity technique, and the next exercise is literally just a bunch of bodyweight squats. We did 80 bodyweight squats or so just with mile reps. It was amazing. It was a fantastic stimulus. My legs were sore for like 3 days. This was only modified from what I was doing in this mesocycle, which was actually like belt squats on this day. So we picked exercises that were less axial loading than normal and that we could survive. Just to be straight up, we hadn't had like a growth hormone and things of that nature, and our body water compartmentalization was skewed just a tad, so training drier in this environment and in a heat we were not used to led to a lot of weird stuff. Mike literally overheated like 3 or 4 times in this trip, so that's why we had to modify quite a bit. But because we have the RP Hypertrophy app, we're able to go in and just kind of modify these sessions real time and pick these exercises just like I said, and change them, and then it'll just have you hit the volumes that you should hit as you change. So if I had belt squats and I knocked it down to bodyweight squats, you're still hitting some sort of volume that is progressing from the previous week, although you're not optimizing the training obviously because you're not doing that repeated bout effect and doing the exact same thing. It's not like it's so different that it's going to fuck you up. But because I might belt squat 100 pounds, now I'm using body weight, the reps go up a shitload. So that's why we did a bunch of mile rep matching. When you travel enough and you know these types of things, you can really knock it down to where you're not creating too much novel stimulus. You're going to create some, obviously, especially if it's modified to this degree of craziest metabolite intensity technique work type of shit. But when you travel a bunch like this, you learn what really works to help you stimulate the muscle enough to where you're overloading and getting in great sessions. So I'm not losing any tissue on this trip and likely gaining quite a bit. It's not optimal, as I said, but when you're not stressed and overly neurotic and you're not a fucking cortisol bath, you're probably actually just doing even better. So the same thing goes for my diet. When I diet, especially on travel, I am hitting my macronutrient targets and I am doing 80% of what I need to do 100% of the time. Let me explain that a little bit. If you can be great on your macros, great on your nutrient timing, but the food content isn't ideal, you're eating out a bunch, yada yada, it's not a huge fucking deal, guys. I am doing what I need to do 100% of the time. If my meal frequency goes down to 3 meals a day, I'm still hitting my macros. If it's down to three meals a day, I'm still making sure my carbohydrates are around my training. I'm still having high glycemic carbs intra, things of that nature. So it's not hard once you understand things on a more kind of worldview level. You have an actual like macro structure of the way things work, and you can conceptualize these ideas instead of just straight up being a bro. Chicken, rice, gotta have it 6 meals a day, gotta do this, gotta do that, because you don't actually know how it works or know any other way. When you realize that things are ran by principles and there's this codified approach to everything, you can modify and basically be just as good as you would have been, likely even better, because you're not stressing the fuck out all the time and you miss one little thing. Like, I've seen people stress the fuck out. Like, fuck, forgot my food scale. What the fuck are we gonna do? Then they're up at 2 a.m. going to a fucking Target trying to buy a food scale, and then now they gotta prep for an hour and a half, 2 hours, all their meals and Tupperware and this and that. And like, it's like, dude, I'm asleep for 4 hours. You're doing that. I'm sleeping. I'm recovering. It's fucking great. Learn the principles. That's why we put out all the content that we put out. We have our fucking YouTube channel over in our Renaissance Periodization. We have all this great information out there, literally to help you be your best, stress less. Learn how to modify things whenever you need to modify them. Learn how to go about the actual practice of doing these things and being great at them, and not allowing stress to rule your fucking life. And that goes even into the highest level of competing. Like I said, I'm an IFBB pro, pretty good. Not everybody's an IFBB pro. I've done pretty well in classic physique shows as a pro. Moving to the open, pretty high level physique. Got a lot of muscle on my body. Same with Mike. Mike's pretty damn great. Same with all my clients. Same with probably a lot of people you know. Some of the best bodybuilders in the world that I know are the least neurotic people I've met. They're really, it's like good to be neurotic about your training and good to be neurotic about your diet, but to a degree in which it makes sense and you're not stressing all the fucking time. Way too much of that shit out there. So that is it for the diet and training front of things. You're going to see a bunch of sessions that are done in this video, and they are modified quite a bit because, again, the pharmacology situation, the travel situation, being drier than usual, and having to just kind of modify heavier loading for more intensity technique based work. It's a smart thing to do, especially when you're traveling. It's not something I always do. You don't always have to do it this way. It's just, this was a fuckload of travel, a fuckload of work, and this was probably the smartest thing we could have done for us. You could definitely go in and keep training hard, heavy. I could have still done my Smith machine incline presses. I still could have done my belt squats and leg presses, but we just wanted to be safe, apply great stimuli, and this is my last hard week of training, so we just basically fucked ourselves up with a bunch of intensity techniques. Great idea to do whenever you're in this specific situation. Again, not something you always have to do. Most of the time when I travel and I'm doing seminars in the States, unless it's a super long flight from east to west coast or something, I'm still generally on my program that the Hypertrophy app has for me. So if I'm doing Smith squats and I land somewhere and I'm pretty good to go, I might push it off to the next day and I'll still do my Smith squats. You just have to really pay attention to your technique, hone it in, and make sure they're not modifying anything to the degree at which you wouldn't be comfortable with modifying even if you were just in a strict routine. So not allowing yourself to fuck the eccentric, not allowing yourself to go too heavy because you let your ego in and you're in a new gym and shit like that. You're like, ooh, I'm going to show these people in this other state how fucking hard I can train. Like, leave that shit at the door. You don't need it. So I'm going to let you guys kind of just watch some of these other sessions, and if I have some clever shit to say, I may. But thank you for following this. I'll say some more stuff at the end, and enjoy this video, guys. So here we're training at Doherty's gym, very cool gym in Perth. I decided instead of kind of putting cards up and just letting you watch the video, I will explain what we did. So here we did a mile rep match set of lateral raises to start the session. Mike wanted to start the session with lateral delts. I don't normally do that. It's a weaker point for Mike. It actually just kind of ruined my push session, so I'm never really going to do this again. I don't really train delts hard before chest, even the day prior. But my rep match, the lateral delt raise, seated variation, big stretch on the bottom, and try to get a really big range of motion here. Not bad. This was like, I don't know, kind of just training in that new environment, the heat and everything. Most of my sessions I pooped out pretty quickly, so I did a few more my rep matches than I wanted to here, but it was fine. 3 sets. My rep match, I think we did like, oh boy, 15 to 18 reps here. I have to go back and look, but it's in my RP hypertrophy training app. Afterwards, we did a pre-exhaust chest exercise, which was the cable fly. Just kind of really trying to have a big chest, pushing my chest toward that opposite wall that's in front of me as I'm going back, and then trying to keep it there as I come forward. You can allow your shoulders to round forward if you'd like. I generally like to have that harder concentric phase, even though we're seeing that stretch response being the most important. I'm still trying to connect on the concentric portion because it makes the eccentric harder actually. So I'm pushing the chest forward the entire time, even on my presses, and I probably will press like that for a very long time. I think it's a great way to do your pushing. So here you're going to see the exact same thing. Machine press was after this, pushing my chest toward that opposite wall. Big stretch here. And on the way up, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to use my chest. I'm not letting my shoulders round forward. Some people will. Again, I like to use the concentric phase for the muscles that I am currently targeting, not shifting it to front delts and triceps. I'm really trying to work the chest and then get quality volume for my other muscle groups later on when I'm training those. This machine press, we also did a mile rep match. I do believe, I can't remember exactly, I have to look at my app, but I basically did the first set. After the first set, you get your rep target. So anytime I say my rep match, that's what I mean. From there, we try to match that rep count while keeping the correct proximity to failure the entire time. So for me, that meant, I think 2 in the tank this week, because currently in Bangkok, doing 1 in the tank / failure training. So each time I'm going to do a mile rep pause, you're going to notice that I'm about 2 reps shy from failure, and that's for every subsequent mile rep pause. I think this is a better way to do it than just all out failure on the final mile reps and only treating the first pause as the proximity to failure for the week. The next day was pull. Here we are doing a cable lat prayer. We let some of the gym employees join us today. Ethan, one of the personal trainers there at Richard's gym at Physique Collective, and we had a fucking great session. These mile rep, no, we didn't do mile rep. We just did straight sets on the cable lat pullover. I did 3 by, here's my app, pulling it up, 15, 13, and then I think 11. And these were also about 2 in the tank. So this whole week of training, 2 reps shy from failure on most things. The heat kind of caught up to us, and training in more, just these hotter environments can definitely lead to rep drop-offs a lot sooner. And we took note of that obviously, and kind of knew going in what was going to happen, especially after training in Melbourne for about 3 days. But because of that, we tend to make up the volume in sets. So I believe on this row variation here, we did about 5 sets, 3 at this weight, and then potentially a drop down from here, unless this was the drop down. Let's see. No, that's it. So 3 sets, then 2 sets down. For this exercise, big, huge stretch at the top. And I really did like this because I felt the stretch at the top a lot. It was pretty easy on that concentric and hard on the stretch. So if you're gonna match force curves and exercise selection, that's basically the way you would want to do it, is having the loaded portion, the eccentric portion, that stretch, the harder part of the exercise, which is why Mike likes the prime row a lot. I just tend to let my forearms take over on that, even with straps, and it's just not that great. I'm not a fan of the cam system, so have the top cam, hell yeah, make it hard on the stretch, but everything else, whatever. From here, we went into the chest supported row, also 3 sets. So that was 5. Oh, actually, 3 sets of the chest supported row. We were going to do 2 down sets. I got to delete that on my app. I put the down sets. We were going to do down sets, but instead we did this chest supported row because Mike didn't like the high row, which was cool. So 3 and 2, and then 3. So it was 8 total working sets for back, which was really good. And I think the second back session of the week was around 8 to 10 sets as well, which is about the MRV for me for my back. But you're going to notice here also mostly a flexion style, really stretching, using that loaded stretch, and then trying to tap the top of the machine as we go. So. Okay guys, so day 1 of the Perth seminar went really well. About 30 attendees or so. Next one is tomorrow. I'll try to film some things for that. I actually forgot to do it today, but I'll definitely record some tomorrow and include it in the video so you can see how the seminars run and stuff. It's really cool. Had a great time. This has been amazing. Perth is beautiful. Keep up with me on Instagram. You can see all my posts and stuff about when I travel. But Mike and Crystal are sleeping in the other room, so I'm trying to be quiet. But this has been a really cool experience so far, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So guys, gonna post some footage of the seminar hopefully in the next scene. And thanks for watching so far. It's been cool. Okay, so I'm about to walk in to seminar day 2. About to head into Physique code. Yeah, time to put on the face, do the thing, do the stuff. But I'm really excited. Gonna meet a bunch of people right now. Literally about to walk in the door, so I'll try to get more shit, record more stuff for this video.
Yes. Big chest. Go up that corner the entire time. Chest up, chest up, chest up, chest up, chest up, chest up, chest out, chest out, chest out, chest out, chest out. Up.
So what you just saw was basically just the gist of what we do with these things. We were asking people to come forward after choosing an exercise that they feel like they struggle with. We picked about 4 or 5 exercises per seminar day. We would just go through a bunch of application, a bunch of theory, because there were questions after each and every time that we would do an exercise, of course. Why we do it the way we do, questions about stretch under load, mechanisms of hypertrophy, etc., etc. So really, if you're ever curious or interested in attending these seminars, it's like a technique workshop with a bunch of kind of conceptual, theorized things that we'll go over, and just lots of basically the science behind why we do the things we do, including the conjecture behind certain application. It's very cool because we get the widest variety of questions from growing social media, which I guess I have some tips, maybe, to why the exercises are performed the way they are. So basically, we let people come up, we explain to them how the exercise should be done, we let them show us how they usually do it, and then we'll talk about differences between techniques and how you can optimize for hypertrophy. We'll also talk about strength stuff if people have questions about it and how you can do that. But for the most part, these technique workshops are for hypertrophy training, and because most of the people attending these are personal trainers, which clients that want to look good naked, obviously, and they just want to do a bunch of hypertrophy training, or they are people who are bodybuilders or even strength athletes that go through hypertrophy phases. Obviously, they got to learn how to optimize the technique to grow the most possible to then make themselves stronger. So yeah, those were a lot of fucking fun. This was an amazing experience, and I loved every damn second of it. But going forward, basically here you're going to see me and Mike doing a lateral raise drop set. I am using, I think, 20, and then it's on the hypertrophy app. I think 20, 12, 8, and then my arms. So you're going to see a pretty damn cool drop set here, where at the end I'm basically just using my arms, and it cooks my ass. But yeah, so guys, thanks for watching this video. I did want to record a little bit more, but I'm doing all this with my phone at the moment and didn't exactly know which direction to take this video, so I just recorded all my training for the week, put most of it on social media, but you're seeing it here again. So if you want to see the cards for the training and what I did exactly, you can head over to my Instagram and see all of that. So I recorded a couple of seminar things, and just tried to talk here and there about the travel aspect of everything, how much I really enjoyed it, and how I get my meals and things of that nature in, which you heard earlier in the video. So feel free to enjoy watching the rest of this lateral raise drop set, a couple curl sets, and then I am ending the video. If you made it this far, give me a thumbs up in the comments. Feel free to give me suggestions for future videos. I plan on filming a shitload when I get back. This has been a nice little hiatus, currently in Bangkok, Thailand, where we are finishing off these seminars with quote-unquote leisure. Clearly I'm still working, and so is everyone else, but it's a good time. So guys, thank you for following. Seriously, it really means the world to me. I'm going to try to really push this channel a little bit this year, maybe get us up to 50 to 75k in followers, and put out a bunch of coaching content and things like that. So if you have suggestions, as always, please feel free to leave it. Like, share, subscribe. Guys, see you next time.
Oh, higher. Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. 3 more seconds. 1, 2, 3. Oh. That was one of the rare ones that we pulled out of the hypertrophy camp. Me too. Holy shit. Yep. Yep.